Hi, Rick Warner, Sturdi-Built Greenhouses here in Portland, Oregon. We've been building greenhouses here for over 50 years now. We make a lot of different architectural designs because everybody's house is a little different, everybody's landscape is a little different, and to create just that right focal point in your landscape, we like to give people lots of options. This particular design, our Garden Deluxe, is based on our original greenhouse design. This is actually our catalog from 1952, shows our original deluxe model, very traditional looking greenhouse design. So you can see that same basic design here in this model, except we added eave overhangs, a little bit of arch, a finial up top to kind of give the ridge some architecture, eave overhang on the other side of course, and then the arch Tudor door with a craftsman style door handle. And so we tried to add some architectural features to the basic greenhouse design. We've also made this model a little taller, kind of like we did on our Trillium model. And you can see on the lower bench, you have room for a few plants there to get some light. We have lots of room on the top of the bench and even on the shelf, and some hanging space inside. So we'll take a look at those too. This is our original Garden Deluxe prototype. It was built in 1999. We put it up shortly thereafter. You can see how the Redwood has beautifully patinaed over time. This is typical of Redwood. It varies a little bit depending on your climate, but this is what it does in rainy Oregon after about 15 years. As with all our different greenhouse models, our Garden Deluxe comes standard with a natural roof ventilation. You can see a vent window at the roof here. We put it right at the peak where all the hot air is gathering inside your greenhouse, so we can let that hot air out. To make that process more efficient, you want to have lower vents as well. Here we have lower base wall screen vents where we draw cool air in. It helps force the hot air out. The nice thing about this type of ventilation is it's quiet, so it's friendly to the user, and it also helps maintain humidity levels, so you're not dehumidifying your greenhouse in the real hot, heavy ventilation season in the summer. As mentioned, one of the features of the Garden Deluxe is the volume and height of this greenhouse. This particular display model, whenever I bring somebody in here, they always have a nice, spacious, comfortable feeling for both themselves, and they can see that there's room for lots of plants on various levels, like the shelf and the benches and the hanging area. Along with the roof vents, another standard feature of Sturdi-Built greenhouses is condensation control. One of the things you try to do in most greenhouses is create extra moisture in the air, and that moisture is going to condense on the glazing every now and then. In a Sturdi-Built greenhouse, we actually put a gutter on the inside to collect that condensation that's rolling down the roof. We channel it down to the floor through this little tube, and that'll keep condensation from dripping all over your plants. Another one of the architectural features that we added to our standard deluxe model for our Garden Deluxe are these roof truss kits. They do add some strength along the top, but they're mainly there to add some architectural feature and design to give the inside some architecture as well. What we try to do here with all our display models is test our design before they go out in the field. This particular Garden Deluxe display model is outside. It gets a pretty good sun exposure from the south here, and as you can see, I have a cedar tree on this side. I get no sun exposure. So in this model, to help test out our double glazing system, we put the white twin wall polyethylene here on the south side of the roof to help give this some shade in the summertime, and also to test the materials. And we did find that various manufacturers of this particular material had various quality levels, and we were able to determine who made the best material, and that's what we use on our Sturdi-Built greenhouses. Along with our standard Garden Deluxe model, which I've shown you, which is our 9-foot model, and we make that 9-foot model in 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20-foot lengths. We've also done a lot of custom work and a lot of nice work in the field, so I thought I'd show you some of those examples. First, let's look at this one. This is a 12 by 16 Garden Deluxe, which we made for a historic garden here in Portland, and the idea was to match the old world look of this garden, and so the customer picked the Garden Deluxe. It has a masonry brick base wall which matches several things in the garden, also matches her home. On this particular one, the customer wanted to go with a full light door instead of the arch light, which was no problem to do, and also added finial at both ends and the ridge scallops similar to our Nantucket model. That one just turned out beautifully. Getting back to a more standard size, this particular unit here is in the medicine garden at the National College of Natural Medicine here in Portland. and they have a garden right in the middle of campus, so it's a place that students meet a lot. But it's also a working garden, and they grow different herbs and natural medicines there. So the greenhouse is used to start plants. Again, they have a masonry base wall, and they have finials at both ends. The ridge scallop you can see on this particular day, the roof vent was wide open. It was a warm day. For fresh air on this particular model, since we had a masonry base wall, we put the jalousie windows in the back, and that allows the cold air to come in, the cool air, and to help expel the hot air. And this really turned out to be a nice focal point in their medicinal garden. Getting back to another more custom unit, this is a greenhouse that we designed for a customer in the Monterey Bay area. And they had this masonry wall built as part of their landscape, and it was built before they even thought about putting a greenhouse on it, really. It's about 10 by 15, so we built the greenhouse to fit their particular need. They eliminated the finial and the arched door because they thought that went better with their particular house. But you can see it's set on here very nicely. We put jalousie windows in the sides to add some lower ventilation to work with the roof vents again. And again, I think just a beautiful outcome to that greenhouse. And finally, just showing a little longer example, this is a 9 by 18 Garden Deluxe. It's down in the Corvallis area at the southern end of the Willamette Valley. Here it has snow on it. You can see the plants inside are still happy. This particular customer did a brick base wall again, but he added some screen vent openings, so that's where his cool air comes in during the warm season. But again, a nice example of our Garden Deluxe out in the field. I think all of these show you the kind of focal point that our Garden Deluxe is. Well, I hope you've enjoyed learning more about our Garden Deluxe model. It's been a good design for us. We've sold a lot of them in the last decade, and they always seem to turn out to be a really nice feature in our customers' landscape. We feel it has a lot of architectural character and has a nice, spacious, comfortable feel for the user. Thank you.